So the AC stands for alternating current and is also the main supply which brings electricity to homes, factories and offices. Alternating current occurs when the charge carriers in a conductor periodically reverse their direction. So as you can see from the diagrams, the direct current only goes in one direction, but alternating current goes in both directions over time. So the AC sine wave. So the sine wave is a mathematical representation of an alternating current flow, and the main components of it are the peak-to-peak value, the amplitude, the peak value, the period, the frequency, and the instantaneous. So what's the peak-to-peak value? So that's the value from the very top of the wave to the very bottom of the wave. And the peak value and the amplitude are the exact same thing, which is often measured from like a reference point, which is often 0, to the very peak of the wave. So the period of the wave is the time taken to complete one full cycle. The frequency of the wave is the number of cycles that happen per second and can be found from the formula frequency equals 1 on period. It's also measured in hertz. The instantaneous value is the value of the wave at a particular time given. So as an example, that's a sine wave. You have the volts on the y-axis and you have the time on the x-axis. So the question you can be asked, what is like the peak-to-peak value, what's the amplitude, what's the peak value, what's the period, what's the frequency, and like what's the instantaneous value at a certain time, such as 0.1 seconds. So the peak-to-peak value is pretty much the very top value, which is 10 volts, minus the very bottom value, which is minus 10 volts. So that makes 10 plus 10, which is 20 volts. The amplitude and the peak value are going to be measured from the reference point of 0, and the very top value is 10, so 10 minus 0, which makes 10 volts. The period of the wave is 0.4 seconds, as you can see from the diagram, that it takes 0.4 seconds to complete one full cycle. And then the frequency can also be measured further on, because frequency equals 1 on period, and we just measured the period to be 0.4 seconds. And if you put that in the calculator, you get 2.5 hertz, which means there are 2.5 cycles per second. The instantaneous value, so the instantaneous value at 0.1 seconds, so if you go to 0.1 seconds on your x-axis on the graph and you go up and measure up the y-axis, you get 10 volts. Thank you for watching.